Once upon a time, in a small village nestled deep within the Carpathian Mountains, there lived an old magician named Radomir. He was known far and wide for his wisdom, but also for his eccentric ways. People whispered that he could speak to animals, conjure storms with a flick of his wrist, and brew potions that could heal any ailment or curse anyone foolish enough to cross him. Radomir had one companion who was closer to him than anyone else, a magnificent black horse named Zorya. She wasn't just any horse, she was magical. Her coat shimmered like starlight on a moonless night, her mane sparkled as though dusted with frost, and her eyes glowed faintly gold, revealing glimpses of ancient knowledge hidden within their depths. Zorya was no ordinary steed. She was Radomir's confidant, protector, and friend. One day, while wandering through the forest gathering herbs, Radomir stumbled upon a young man lying unconscious by a stream. His clothes were torn, his face bruised, and his breathing shallow. The boy appeared to be little more than 16 summers old. Moved by compassion, Radomir carried the youth back to his cottage and tended to his wounds. When the boy awoke, he introduced himself as Ivan, a farmer's son from a distant village. "I am grateful for your kindness," Ivan said weakly, clutching the blanket Radomir had draped over him. "My name is Ivan. My family, we were attacked by bandits. They took everything, our food, our tools, even our horses, left us destitute." Radomir raised an eyebrow, stroking his long white beard thoughtfully. "Bandits, you say? Dangerous folk indeed. And what brings you so far from home, lad?" Ivan clenched his fists, determination shining in his weary eyes. "I couldn't sit idly by while they stole from my family. I came looking for them to take back what is ours." Radomir chuckled softly, shaking his head. "Brave words for such a young soul, but bravery alone won't save you from thieves armed with swords and cruelty." Despite his frail appearance, Ivan sat up straighter. "Then teach me how to fight, how to survive. I'll do whatever it takes." Moved by Ivan's courage, Radomir agreed to let him stay until he recovered. During this time, Ivan grew fond of both Radomir and Zorya. He marveled at how intelligent the horse seemed, often catching her watching him with those piercing golden eyes. Though wary at first, Zorya eventually allowed Ivan to approach her, even letting him stroke her velvet nose. As days turned into weeks, Ivan began helping around the cottage, chopping wood, fetching water, and learning bits of magic from Radomir. But despite the kindness shown to him, Ivan couldn't forget his mission. One evening, under the light of a full moon, he confessed to Radomir that he intended to leave and track down the bandits once more. "You are brave," Radomir said thoughtfully, stroking his long white beard. "But bravery alone will not save you from such dangers. If you truly wish to succeed, you must rely on something greater than strength or cunning. You must trust in loyalty." Ivan frowned, unsure of what the old magician meant. Before he could ask, Radomir turned to Zorya and spoke softly to her in a language Ivan didn't understand. To his astonishment, the horse nodded her head as if she understood every word. Then, turning back to Ivan, Radomir said, "Zorya will accompany you. She is faster, stronger, and wiser than any creature you've ever encountered. Together, you may stand a chance." Though grateful, Ivan hesitated. "But isn't she your companion?" "I couldn't possibly take her away from you," Radomir chuckled. She is not mine to keep forever, nor am I hers. We are bound by choice, not chains. Besides, I sense that your journey is important not just for you, but for all who suffer under the shadow of greed and cruelty. Go, lad. Trust in each other, and you shall prevail. And so, early the next morning, Ivan mounted Zorya, feeling both exhilarated and nervous as the great horse pawed the ground beneath her hooves. With a final farewell to Radomir, they galloped off toward the horizon, where the mountains loomed dark against the rising sun. Their journey was fraught with peril. They crossed treacherous rivers, climbed jagged cliffs, and endured icy winds that howled like wolves. Along the way, Zorya proved herself invaluable. She could leap over chasms too wide for any ordinary horse, run tirelessly without rest, and even warn Ivan of danger before it struck. More than once, her sharp instincts saved them from ambushes by wild beasts or lurking bandits. One evening, as they camped beneath a canopy of stars, Ivan asked Zorya, "Do you ever tire of carrying me? Of risking your life for someone you barely know?" The horse gazed at him with those glowing eyes, and though she did not speak aloud, Ivan felt her answer in his heart. Loyalty is not given lightly, but once given, it cannot be broken. Encouraged by her unwavering faith, Ivan pressed onward. At last, after many days of travel, they found the bandits' hideout, a sprawling encampment hidden in a valley surrounded by dense woods. The stolen goods were piled high, guarded by rough men armed with swords and spears. Realizing they were outnumbered, Ivan devised a plan. That night, under cover of darkness, Zorya crept close to the camp, her movements silent as shadows. When the guards least expected it, she let out a deafening neigh that echoed through the valley, startling the bandits and scattering their horses in panic. Chaos erupted as the thieves scrambled to regain control of their frightened animals. Seizing the moment, Ivan charged into the fray atop Zorya, wielding a sword borrowed from Radomir's collection. With the horse's speed and agility, they weaved through the chaos, striking down those who resisted and driving the rest into retreat. By dawn, the bandits had fled, leaving behind the stolen treasures, including Ivan's family's stallion. Grateful beyond words, Ivan loaded the recovered goods onto the rescued horses and prepared to return home. As he mounted Zorya one last time, he turned to her and said, "Thank you. I owe you everything. If there's anything I can do to repay you." Zorya nuzzled his hand gently, her warm breath brushing against his fingers. Again, her voice resonated in his mind. "Your gratitude is reward enough. Remember always that true strength lies not in power, but in the bonds we forge with others." With that, Zorya turned and galloped away, her form dissolving into the morning mist until she vanished entirely. When Ivan returned to his village, he found his family safe but struggling. With the stolen goods restored, however, they were able to rebuild their lives. Ivan became a hero among his people, celebrated for his bravery and resourcefulness. Yet whenever someone asked about the mysterious horse that had helped him, Ivan simply smiled and said, "She was a gift from the stars, sent to remind us of the power of loyalty." Far away, in his secluded cottage, Radomir watched the sunrise with a knowing smile. Beside him, Zorya grazed peacefully in the dewy grass, her golden eyes reflecting the first light of day. And so, the tale of the magician's horse spread throughout the land, a testament to the enduring bond between human and animal. and a reminder that magic exists not only in spells and enchantments, but in the connections we nurture with those we hold dear.